Hey designer, Alex here. Welcome to this course about Inception design system for Adobe XD. If you want to check out the full playlist with all the videos, make sure to click here or to click down in the description below. Link is going to be there. So enjoy this lesson. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with Inception design system light file, how to adjust it for your needs, then how to share it with your clients and developers, and finally, how can you export files from it. So let's get started. So here we are in Adobe XD and opened up, I have Inception design system light file. So it's different from the master file because light file does not have all of these items to be previewed right here. What you can do is you can open up the preview images folder, which is provided inside of the download, and here it is. And you have the dark flowcharts and templates, and you also have light atoms and molecules because once again, it's how they are made, flowcharts and templates. So in this case, let's open up the large, and if I double click, I can preview how all of these templates look like, and I can quite easily use them inside of my design if I want to. So how can you get started right here is it depends of your project. If you are starting with templates, if you are starting with high fidelity wireframes, then you can start like that. If you're starting with flowcharts, you can start like that. But in my case, I just want to quickly show you the templates because I'm going to do a bunch of these live streams where I'm going to show you in detail about the entire process, the entire project, and it's going to take a few hours. But in this demonstration video, I just want to show you how everything works and how everything looks like. So let's say that we want to start with templates and not with flowcharts. What I want to do is, depending on how you work, if you're working mobile first and then scaling up, or if you're working desktop first and then you're scaling down. In my case, I want to start with desktop first, so I'm going to select this one. I'm going to hold my Alt key and duplicate it because if I zoom in, it's grid large. So in this case, it's going to be desktop size. So what I'm going to do is simply extend my artboard, and I'm going to click on my grids. I'm going to extend them down, and I can even lower them down because I'm not sure I need them at the moment. So templates, large, and you have all of these categories, 15 categories as I mentioned. So let's start with the navigation. So let's start with nav number 1. I'm going to drag it, and I'm not going to place it inside of the middle right here because that way it's going to crash with my grid. So you can either delete grid, you can add it later. So let me actually show you that as well. I'm going to delete it, and then I'm going to place this as at the top like this. Now when I'm ready with my navigation, I'm going to use, let's say, hero section. So I'm going to use hero number 4 in this case, for example. I can place it right here until it meets in the center like so. Then once I'm ready, maybe I want to use features. I'm gonna say I want to use features number 2, for example. So I can position it here. I can make it align, and let's say call to action is important. I'm going to add it right here. So maybe right around here, somewhere around there. So let's align it like so. And finally, let's add a couple more. So let's add, I don't know, sign in and sign up. No, let's go with pricing. So let's go with pricing number 1. So you can see how super simple this is. Just drag and drop them into place, and you can make your organization a little bit later. So let's go with forms, and let's go with form number 10 because I want to collect emails from my customers and my clients. So let's position it there. And finally, let's bring a footer in place. So let's locate footers, and let's use footer number 2, for example. Place it in, make sure you're in center, and drag it like that. So I purposely deleted my grid because what I can do is go to atoms and molecules, find my grids, here it is, column grid large because this is the large artboard, drag and drop it into place like so, make sure it's in the center, snap it to the top, and you can simply extend it like so. So you can extend it right here. You can right click and you can send to back. It's going to go all the way back, and now you can actually clip your artboard because you don't need it to be this large if you don't want to. I'm going to clip it right around here because I want to show you another thing that you can do. Switch to a layers panel, and here is the magic and how it looks like. So what you can do is organize these a little bit. So nav is going to go to the top, hero is going to go below it. What we have below is the features. We have call to action right here. Then we have our pricing, form and footer, and we have columns in the background. So I'm going to lower down the opacity of my columns to 0. You can see that right here. And what I'm going to do is actually group all of these, call it website. like so. And then I'm going to include a stack feature. I'm going to use this stack, which is vertical, and let's say I want to use 40 for the distance. And what that's going to do is create a 40 distance between all of these. Let me actually change the color just so that you can see. So now we have the distance of 40 between all of these elements. If you don't want this to be 40 for all of them, what you can do is simply go back, and instead of going 40, I can click right here. So click inside and simply bring this one down to 0, because I don't want it to be, for example, navigation and hero, I don't want it to be 40, but all of these other ones are at 40. So once again, what you can do is click inside. So this is my hero section. I can go back, I can close my atoms molecules, go back to templates large, and locate my hero. Here it is right here. So I want to change it. So hero number 5, for example. So what's great about this is when you switch to your layers panel and you have your grid large 1, what you can do is when you're creating later, you can simply click and duplicate this tablet version, for example. So that's medium. And what you can do is extend that, and we are going to get rid of these grid lines, and I can click inside, and what you can do is locate. So here we have nav number 1 and hero number 5. So you can click right here, go to here, collapse the large, open up the medium, go to hero. So nav number 1, position it straight to the top, and close this, and let's locate our hero. Here it is, hero number 5. And you get the point. So you can simply adjust these however you want. So you can see that the design is exactly the same. So it's going to speed you up a lot because you can see the names of these. So the whole point is when you are creating, don't adjust these as you go along, because it's going to be much simpler for you to change them later, to find them where they are and to adjust them as you go along. So what I'm going to do is simply delete this one because we don't need it at the moment, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to adjust these images. So what I'm going to do is drag and drop an image I have on my phone, on my computer, sorry, and remove this image icon. I can hide it or delete it altogether. I can double click inside and I can change this. But what you can also do is, because this is a child component of a master component of an image, right click right here and go edit master component. This is our master component. So what you can do is simply hide this image icon right here, or you can delete it right here, and every single place where this image size is located, it's going to be deleted from that place. So just keep that in mind. Every single component you create and every single component you adjust, make sure to edit master component. So in case you want to edit this button, I already explained how the colors work. So you can click right here and then you can locate this color. It's this royal color. So you can right click and adjust it there, right here on the colors. Don't adjust it here and expect that it's going to adjust everywhere else where this is located, because it's not going to be so. This is the master component, this is the child component, and in case you want to edit just this button located right here, then you can click right here, and here we go. It says default medium. Why? Because it's the master component. So in case you want to change the text, you can do so right here. But in case you want to change the color, in case you want to change the corner radius, or if you want, for example, this corner to be rounded, this corner to be straight, you're going to do this inside of this master component and not right here. So that's how easy it is to work with these. And let's now talk about sharing, and let's talk about exporting. So first of all, let's say that we are content with this. I'm going to cut it right around here, somewhere around there. And in case your clients want to see the dark versions of these, what you can do is simply duplicate this artboard and then click right here, click inside, and for each of them, switch them on to dark mode, click dark mode right here, and then right here, like so, and like so. So I would always recommend you to do this before you actually drag and drop your images inside, because you saw what happened with this one. So let me quickly drag another one right here. Let's switch back to our layers panel. Let's increase it a little bit just so that we can have the same image left and right. And there you go. You can now show this to your client, and your client can easily glance at this image, or you can make a screenshot of this image. You can call this, for example, home page large, and you can call this homepage large dark, for example, or you can call this light or this dark. It's really all up to you and your naming convention and your naming scheme, how you want to name this, but this is the way which I do it. So your clients can easily tell, do I like the dark mode? Do I like the light mode? Let's go with light mode. You can easily scratch the dark mode, and that's the whole point right here, to improve your speed, to increase your speed before you actually get to the nitty-gritty and actually change and add a real copy inside and make all of these changes. So let's say that they went with light mode. How can you actually share this? How can you export this? So if you want to export this element by element directly from Adobe XD, what you can do is, obviously you're going to switch this logo to their logo. You can hit Control E for export, and you can see that I have my naming scheme right here and my location right here, but you can click change, and of course you can add your own folders and your own structure. Because I want this to scale and to look crisp on every single size, I want to actually choose this to be SVG. And you can play around with all of these details if you want to. Of course, as I said, you can change the folder and hit export. Then if you want this button to be PNG, if you want it to be like this without the text, what you can do is click inside, hide the text, hit Control E or Command E on a Mac, hit PNG right here or SVG if you want to, and then developers can put text inside of that button later. For example, if you're working with Webflow later maybe, then you can export this as a background, place the text inside, create it as a component, and then if you're working with different sizes, then you can adjust all of these sizes and export them like that and play around with them in Webflow or which any type of coding system or software or tool you're using, and then adjust it like that. Of course, we have this icon right here. You're going to export it as SVG. You can export these backgrounds. So if I select this, you can see features background large 2, which is once again my naming scheme, and you can change this naming scheme to whichever one you're using, with dashes, without dashes, or all capitals, no capitals. So whatever you are doing, you can do so right here. So let's say that you finished exporting this page and you finished exporting all of these elements. Let's say that you want to share it with your clients or developers. How can you actually do that? Well, every time you select an artboard, you have this option right here pop up. So if you have multiple artboards, so let's say like this, then you can select all of them, and then you can hit share right here, and then you can share that. You can actually create them inside of the prototype to be one flow. So let's say I don't know, product flow. So let's say user comes on a home page, selects a product, goes to the product page, then puts that product inside of the cart, then goes to the cart, then goes to the payment and to the checkout and thank you page finally. So all of these things can be one flow. Other flows can be, for example, if they are going to the project page and then click right there. So you get the point. You can create multiple flows, and then you can share these entire flows by simply going right here to the prototype, aligning all of them, and then simply clicking right here. This is going to be one flow, but just remember, you have to connect them. So you have to click right there, and then from here you have to click and connect this one. So this is going to be your one flow. So let's go back, and let's go back to the design, and I want to delete these two, like so. But what if you want to share this one? You can double click inside and you can call it, for example, home page or whatever you want. And then if you want to share this home page, what you can do is go to share, and you can create a link. You can create a link for design review, so you can get feedback on your design or prototype directly from your clients. You can share it for development. That way developers can see all the spacings, margins, paddings, colors, fonts, font sizes, all of these things used inside of your design. You can share it for presentation. So if you're creating presentations for multiple stakeholders, for multiple users, you can do it like that. And then for user testing, it's ideal for testing your prototype because you can choose all of these options that you want to hide. For example, you don't want them to see the navigation. You don't want them to see how to get their heads around this prototype, how to navigate this prototype, because you want them to figure out all of these things by themselves. And finally, you can choose custom. You can choose all of these different options combined or remove some of these options. And it's really all up to you and how you want to share it. But majority of times you're going to use one of these three options. So design review for your clients, development for your developers, or user testing for your users. So depending on which one you choose, or you can choose all three, but you have to share three different links. Then you can share that link and you can protect the link anyone with the link can access it, or only invited people, so you have to take their email addresses, place them right here, or anyone with a password, so you can create a password and then share that password and the link with anybody who wants to access it. You can simply create a link and share them like that. So basically there you go. And one final thing which I want to touch upon is when you're sharing for developers, so right here for development, you can export all of your assets. So you can click downloadable assets, but you have to mark them for export first. What that means is if I double click right here inside of my design, so let's select this image, you have this option, mark for export, or you can use Shift E, click right there. And then once I switch to share, for development, you can see I have one asset to be downloaded for my developers. So you can easily tick what you want to share with your developers. If you want them to download that or not, they're going to be able to download it in this particular size and scale. So however you created it inside of your design, the quality, you can share that image, or you can even share the original image and then they can scale it down in code for different purposes and for different sizes. So that's how easy it is to use Inception Design System Lightfile. Just remember, every time you want to make a master change, make sure to make it to the master component, and every time you want to make a global change like colors, like character styles, make sure to do it right here. It's going to adapt in real time. It's going to make changes in real time across this design system. In the next video, we're going to work with Inception Design master file, and I'm going to show you how to work with that, because it is a little bit different than this light file, and how can you share that with your clients and developers. So I'll see you there. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to check out the previous one from this playlist, make sure to click right here, or to check out the next one from this playlist, make sure to click right here. If you want to see full playlist for all videos from this course, make sure to check down in the description below. Link for the full playlist is going to be down there in case you missed something.